Ja, was das? Gibt's nicht mehr.
Powered by More Than Dawgs. And we got a bunch of Pilot Project beer here. You are way too close to me.
Easy. I got the two falls.
Feels like yesterday at the bar.
What do you got going?
I wasn't at the bar. Serpente. I wasn't talking about you. I got the Italian Pilsner.
I have the Italian Pilsner, the Pilsner of my people.
Does it taste extra Italian?
It does. It makes me feel more Italian. Let me tell you. Fucking delicious. And looking at that beautiful hat, the Winston-Salem dash, just makes me feel so much pride on the inside.
You're so greasy. I can feel
the
grease in there. I feel it. It's just your inner Italian coming out.
Just pouring out. Yeah, exactly. There's just a jus forming on it, you know.
All right, let's get the bingo card out. Let's get
enough with the plugs for your
Let's
show.
do it, friends.
Okay. So More Than Dawgs sponsors this. What's going on at More Than Dawgs this week?
More Than Dawgs. I mean, listen, we had the rain out on Friday, all right, and or the rain delay. So I ordered food. It was ready, and then they called the game 22 seconds after it was ready, or called the delay. So I rode my bike down there with my Princess Toad helmet and picked up my food and came home. Delicious. They had the parents in town. I got a special order of onion rings for my mom because she loves onion rings, and she's like, "Who's gonna eat all these onion rings? They're delicious, but they give you so much." And I'm like, "Good God, you guys are old. You know, you just eat what you want and shut up." So you get huge portions full of onion rings. Those are delicious. And then the jalapeno cheddar brat. That's our go-to. Our go-to. Plus $5 for a Chicago dog with fries. I mean, wow. how can you beat that? You can't beat that. Yeah. You can take that right into the park. It costs you $14 at the park. So we just saved you $9. Go buy a Wave Suck shirt on our merch set. All right,
MSS, give me the first column.
First column in the one, we got a Blackman home run. We got Dinger on the T-shirt. Dinger is the mascot of the Rockies.
That's illegible. I didn't know what that was.
That's why I did it. And then we had Juan Uribe on the trivia because we got, Juan Uribe came up with the Colorado Rockies. Blackman, he played yesterday. Yeah. Even though fancy ass Drew Dawgs tried to tell me that he was on the IL. He was wrong. I was right. So he did not hit a home run. I did not see Dinger on the shirt. So I have not seen the Dinger shirt at all. And I was barely coherent enough to pay attention to trivia yesterday, but I don't remember seeing Juan Uribe up there at all. So we've been blanked here.
Lift that row. Yeah.
Now, go.
You got second row.
Okay. All right. Sox get 2 victories. Baby, Sox already got 2 fucking victories.
Yes.
The first series win since I don't know how long.
Yeah.
We got the More Than Dawgs, the given spot, so that's 2 in a row. Sox lose by 1? No, they haven't fucking lost. In fact, we're going for the sweep.
Let's hope we don't get that.
Let's not hit that one, right? Let's do it, baby.
All right, last one. Wally Money on the scoreboard. Was he on the scoreboard yesterday?
I don't think so.
Wasn't on Friday either.
Blank Wally Money.
Yeah.
Tommy Pham home run. I think everybody else hit a home run.
But
Tommy
Pham,
yeah.
He was angry, no home runs.
Beer spills. This definitely happened. So I know you were telling me that someone dropped a full beer at the post-game.
Tailgate.
Yep. And then over at Cork, our guy Arjun was a little unstable. He did not spill a beer.
Yeah.
But he kept moving over so much into me and our guy Alex that me and Alex hit our beers and spilled them both. So not the whole beer, just a little bit, but it counts.
And
so
we
got
the box.
We really hammered that bottom corner. But but we got nothing.
Nothing. We got blanks.
We're not even rooting for a win.
No, the only 2 ways you can win is
Blackman home run or the Sox lose by 1. Fuck that. We don't want either one of those.
Let's just lose this week. How about that? We'll take the loss. Exactly. Absolutely right. Now fucking right we are.
We do got to talk about a couple things though, because a couple 2-3 things happened. So Stoney and Shriffen came down separately to the tailgate. Shriffen comes down. MSS gives him the 108.
The sleeveless hoodie.
Yeah. He loves it.
He was like, this is fancy.
He was excited. Maybe, depending on who you ask, maybe too excited. Because the Luis Robert home run call was wild. So me and Beef weren't at the game yesterday, so I had to watch the highlights this morning.
I didn't watch it.
And that call is crazy. But I'm going to tell you something. The Rockies home run call, one of the worst I've ever heard.
Really?
His home run, their play-by-play guy's home run call is sometimes you swing and you do not miss. That is his home run call.
Does he do it like sometimes
for the opposing team?
Do not miss.
No, that's for his own team. So, such a defeatist line. That's what I think.
That's like fuck myself.
That's what people want from Shriffen. They're like, oh, play to the team. Like, the team sucks. You should do this.
Take it down.
If he was going, sometimes you swing and you do not miss for a home run, you would grill him for that too.
You don't think they want to have their inner loser out there? That's a loser call.
That is a loser.
That's how losers call. That's how losers call things. You don't think White Sox fans want the inner loser out there and that shit? I don't think they do.
I think if they heard it, they would hate it. Ooh, I don't like this. I don't like it. But the Shriffen call, you put a poll on.
I put a poll up there, and actually, it's very diverse right now. That I put, either fun, entertaining, you liked it, ghastly, abomination, or Matt, or whatever. They're almost even. So the Sox fan base is very much split on it. I liked it for how extremely ridiculous it was, especially the roaring at the end is crazy shit. Let's be like a cartoon. Let's have it be as over the top as fucking possible. Look, most of you aren't watching anyway. A lot of you are commenting on this shit. You only saw the replay. You didn't even watch the game. You don't care about the Sox anymore. I still do. Yeah. I like this shit. Like, let's have some comedy. Let's do it. Man.
You were sitting in your living room listening to your vinyls, and then you're like, you know what? I got to get on Reddit.
And that's fine. It's your choice.
I better go and listen to the highlights so I can have some juice.
Yeah, it's your choice to do that. But like for me, I love all that. I laughed out loud when I heard that.
He's getting them talked about for not a bad reason.
Let me ask you this though. Do you think if he's going to do that, he's got to get one for like every guy? He's got to get one for like every guy. Yeah. Like one of the many Italians on the team hits a home run, he's got to go, Mamma mia!
Mamma mia! Yes, I love it. I think that's great.
Andrew Benintendi making the pizza. I can't believe we're giving away all these great ideas to Shrift Dog.
He's like, and that's a deep dish sausage pizza. Yeah!
We expect royalties from this. Just let you know if you use any of this stuff. So.
Yeah. I'm sure John's watching.
I get the people that are like, oh, that's too much or whatever. That's fine. How you enjoy the game. But for me at this point with a shitty-ass team, I'm looking for anything that's going to be just fun. And so I'm in on it. Count me in on this for now. If the team gets good and you're like, okay, that's too much. We got a real good team now. Pull it back a little bit. I can be with that. Right now, when we suck, I want all this big shit.
He is talking to him yesterday for the brief amount of time before my dad whooshed in and was like,
it was a foul.
He had to like use, hey, Isla, this is my son. I need a one-on-one with you, Mr. Shriffen. So before he did that, I was like, do you feel a tide changing right now with the fans and people watching the game? Because there was a Reddit thread about John, and there was a lot more supporters of his in there. Like, people are starting to be like, okay. But also, John has changed a little bit. He's not putting out the enthusiasm. He recognized that. He said, listen, I go, why'd you stop doing the Southside stand-up? He's like, you know what? I've been noticing people don't really like the enthusiasm all the time. And this is what we needed, right? Yeah. You're letting the guy fucking figure it out. And like, people are starting to realize, oh my God, if we give a guy 3 months to figure out the fucking brand new job that he's in,
he might learn.
Maybe he'll fucking adjust and get to where we're supposed to go. So, yeah, he was very, very happy.
Well, that's a good segue to. That's a good segue to a guy.
I was going to go up. I couldn't do it.
Very quickly adjusting and figuring out his job, and that is one Garrett Crochet.
Yes, sir.
Garrett Crochet is a very good starting pitcher. We did not think that was going to be the case.
We're surprised by it. Full disclosure.
Right. This morning, Bob Nightingale says the White Sox intend to trade Garrett Crochet by the trade deadline. Guys, what do you think about that? Now, that is a guy who's going to be controllable through 2026. So you're really saying when you do something like that, either you don't believe that his health can stay the same, and like you're worried about that, and you're going to try and reduce that risk, or you're saying we don't intend to be good until 2027. Beef, what was your take?
I mean, I think they're saying both basically, and they're also saying, look, this is found money, a chip that we were not expecting to have, and there's rumors that they offered an extension, and then it was just like a no-go. Apparently, whatever amount of money they offered, the crochet camp was like, no thanks. We're killing it right now. We'll keep killing it. We'll see what we get later. And so I understand that. I get that from the crochet side too. But if you're the White Sox, cash the shit in right now. Like, mitigate the risk because you're only 90+ innings into him being a starting pitcher. It looks great right now, but you see how injuries creep into starting pitchers. Yeah. And it's not, I'm not saying he's particularly at risk. Just anyone is at risk. And so their strategy too, Treasy, has been spread the risk out. And this follows through what we were talking about with the Fetty thing too, is like they'll probably go for more players. I even put a poll out there, 108.com. Do you think that Crochet will get more back than Dylan Cease? And for a large part, the White Sox Twitter crowd thinks the return will be bigger than the Cease return, which kind of surprised me.
That's goofy.
Yeah, I'm not counting on that being a bigger return, but I think you mentioned the injury risk, but I do think it is particular to him. I think that there is more injury risk with a Garrett Crochet than most because he's been injured throughout his college and pro career.
True,
and it's rare that you go from being a reliever to putting this much load on somebody right away who has an injury history.
Yep.
And then when they trade him, we should start talking about it that way.
Yeah.
He is probably going to be a reliever for whoever he goes to, right?
For down the stretch.
For down the stretch. And that puts a ton of risk on this guy's arm, man. I'm not even worried about it from the Sox side. I'm just kind of worried about it from being a Garrett Crochet fan side. I think that they're going to put it, this might put him in a bad spot.
Two thoughts. First thought, I want to see this extension deal that they offered him because I want to know how these are being worked. Like, is it getting worked like a Rick and Kenny situation? It's like, hey, if you perform to the best of your capabilities that no one's ever done, you're gonna get all this money. But if you don't, you get $5. And so I want to know what the details of the extension were that were turned down because I feel like it was probably really
I don't know,
insulting.
because I think that Rick and Kenny got burned on a good amount of their extension.
They did.
Fucked a bunch of them
the
up.
Makata extension was way too much.
Shit.
The Eloy was way too much.
Fucked that one up.
Yeah. There's not a good track record of there's those couple where you're like, oh, this was good. But
the Luis one looks okay if
Luis
he can stay upright.
Timmy's turned out to not be great. They didn't make it to the end of that. They had to buy him out. So I don't know. I think if it is different, it would probably be on the cheaper end.
Yeah.
That's
what I think.
If you're Crochet, and I was looking at this too, Crochet has had injury risk, you mentioned, and he's only making $800K this year. The maximum that his arm raise is going to be is up to $3-4 million next year. He's still going to be hella cheap. But if you're looking at it from his perspective, you're going to make $3-4 million, probably no brainer in arbitration next year. And let's say the Sox offered you $4 and $6. But if you get to free agency and you're pitching like this, you're going to get $200 million.
Easy.
And so the difference between being just regular guy, I have a lot of money, and being rich, you got to gamble. I think you got to gamble for him. Why bother? Fuck this extension.
I think too, if you're his agent, you're going to him look, even if things go bad, let's say you get injured, this and that, you are a lefty reliever at worst. Your floor is lefty reliever. You have a 20-year career ahead of you if you want it.
Right.
TJ McFarland.
Yeah, exactly.
Just take a look. Yeah.
You're right, Treasy. The downside is protected. So why not fucking shoot the moon? But you guys don't think he'll get more back than Cease.
No.
Let me sell the case on you. Number one, he's got more time, right? So there's going to be this remaining left of the season. I've seen some posts out there from some of my baseball guys that I really like saying smart teams will know how to use him down the stretch, and they're not just going to shut him down like the White Sox are trying to Peter off.
Yeah.
There'll be smart teams that know how to determine how much he should pitch, etc. So he can be effective for a good playoff team. Secondly, he's going to make no money. Dylan Cease is making $8 or $9 million this year, and he'll probably make 13 or 14 next year. Crochet's making $800K. If he gets a raise to $3 or $4 million, the next year, unless he wins Cy Young or something, he's only going to be 6 or 7. You got such a cheap guy here. Yeah. And if he's the guy you believe in, like you mentioned, Tracy, lefty starter that's blazing like that, that's a superstar. If you get him, I think it's potentially a bigger return than Cease.
I think if you look at it from that side, yes. But if I'm negotiating this contract or this trade, I should say, if I'm negotiating this trade, I'm looking at you going like, there's a ton of injury risk here. There's reliever risk here. There's what can I actually use him for this year? Even if I know I've got a plan to use him,
Right.
I ain't telling Chris gets that. I'm going like, I'm only gonna get so many innings out of you. You guys burned them out.
Yeah.
This is your fault, Chris. Like so,
You fucked up.
so I think like in terms of negotiation, yes, there's that high upside, but then there's a lot of risk that the team's taking on.
Yeah.
So saying like I need a bigger return than what we got from the Padres is going to be tough. Where I think I meet in the middle with you is that there's 20 teams that need Garrett Crochet.
Yeah.
Correct.
So like it could become a bidding war.
Yeah.
Especially if some of these teams just kind of like stay right in the mix. You know, like the Cubs beating the Brewers is good for this, right? Because like there's a lot of teams in that division just all bunched up, right? So like they're like, fuck the wild card, I could win this division. You know, there's a lot of that across the MLB. Yeah. So that's an opportunity for the Sox.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely right.
I think the Sox don't really think they can develop him even better, keep him healthy, or develop him into what he could be too. I think they might just be saying, you know what, let's get him out there, let him go live.
I think it might be that they believe right now they got the pitching thing lined up.
Might.
So they like the Bannister thing, like we can make more of these. Let's trade this one, and then we'll keep making them, and we'll see like this is the way we can get back into this.
The Cleveland
and
model.
it's not
The
looking
Cleveland
bad right now. It's not looking really good right now, and that's smart. That's a smart look,
John
which
Candy
we're
looked
not
fine
used to.
yesterday.
With the
Drew Thorpe looked fine on Friday night. I know it is the Rockies, but you know these young guys are starting.
It doesn't matter. We
I
would
think
get
we can-
shelled by some of these dudes.
It's true.
I think we can all agree that I think we're confident in Bannister working on the starting pitch.
And then
We are not confident in anyone in this organization picking relievers.
also, Cannon got
Jack
shelled.
Evans bad.
Cannon got shelled by the fucking Detroit Tigers, and they suck balls
That's
too.
good
So
point.
you
Good
go
point.
against a shitty team. Even shitty teams get lucky some days.
That's true.
We know
some days.
we're Sox fans, so it's just like, hey, this is like,
It's true. I totally agree.
it's like, you know, hey, let's take it easy.
If we've only identified our bum killers right now, I think that's fine. If we've only identified bum killers at this point, that's fine. We got our Alfonso Soriano. All right, like we got that.
It's good.
It's like a slump buster. Sometimes you need to fucking just get out there, do something below what you think you can do, just to like get back in the rhythm and then go.
When a bad team shows up, beat their ass.
Yes.
Like you should, and that's what they're doing.
Exactly.
this week, you know?
Fuck yes.
Well, fellas, I think that's all we got.
That's all we
for
really got
this
today,
week.
yeah.
It's
Go buy some merch.
beautiful day out. So if
Fuckers.
you want to come hang out with us at the park,
Get that sweet.
get on up there.
Yep. If this is what global warming looks like, I'm in.
Buying you a
Buy
red,
us-
buying
buy
you
us
a red
all
hat.
summer.